I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up? What up? What up? Welcome back into Pregaming every Monday through Friday. You can find us here at Sports Money. Trying to check to make sure everything's okay here. Some last minute changes. What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are having yourselves a glorious day. Let me turn this on. Start the show off with some special shout outs here across the bottom of the screen. Appreciate all you guys here, and certainly a special place in my heart for Trisha M., Robert McCormick, Peter Gracia, Parma Jake, Brent Matthews, David Wallace, William Cox, Michael P., Algus, Redbeard, Big Scott, and of course, Kelly V. Might be sitting there going, what did they do? They took the opportunity to kindly, nicely put a comment in the chats yesterday. We had a record number of comments after the show in the comment section, and that's tremendous. I have to say again, thank you guys for taking the time to do that. I know it's a couple extra clicks and a couple extra seconds, but we put a lot of time and effort into what we're doing here at Sports Money, and we're trying to grow this thing. And we want to keep bringing on new content. We want to bring on new presenters. We want to give you guys new shows. And those metrics are ultra important. I mentioned this yesterday. We do not have the backing of a angel investor or some bigger corporation that's putting this money behind us here. So it's grassroots. The marketing, the programming, the graphics, all of that stuff comes literally homegrown from myself and the crew that you've seen here around the Sports Money spectrum. So I just want to say thank you guys. Get your names scrolling across the bottom because it does mean a lot. I saw those comments. I was excited. We picked up a couple of units on the day yesterday, so that was fun. But more important to me was seeing you guys taking the time to do that for me. Just means a lot. It tells me that you guys appreciate what we're doing here, and hopefully you're making some money and we're having some fun. We tell some jokes. We make some fun of each other. But that's what friends do, right? That's friends and family. And more important, we grow our bankrolls, which is what we're here to do tonight. So if you guys could continue to do that and take the opportunity tonight. Again, it's an ultra small slate. You'll see I have an ultra small card. I did, however, want to come to the table with a 122-1 parlay, almost 123-1 parlay. 4 legs, 4 of them, 123-1. $10 better. Going to pick themselves up $1,226, assuming we hit. $5 better, still going to pick themselves up, a little over $600, like $650, give or take. Why the hell not? There's only a couple of games on the card. And then nothing pops off after 8 p.m. So we will not have a live show tonight. Live show will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, live show. Got to see what time PFL starts. Got to see what time it officially starts, but we will pop off. The playbook, the UFC playbook, has a special edition this week for the PFL. So business as usual when it comes to the MMA world, as far as finding the playbook, helping make some informed betting decisions as you try to beat these bookies up. And I think it's important that this piece comes out there because it's very difficult with all these different books and the way that they handle some of these minor league cards. I don't know if it's fair to call it PFL minor league, but I did, and I'll own it. And so when we're doing our show and some of you guys say, hey, our books close all the prelim cards right before the first fight starts, there's not much we can do for that. Everybody's books are different, and we take them fight by fight, as you guys have seen us do on a regular basis. But check that playbook out. I'll make sure that we update the link and get that out there tonight on the post tab. And that way, if you do have a book that shuts down early, Typically you'll see either they'll leave them open play by play, or you'll get like the prelim card shuts down before the first prelim fight, and then the main card will shut down before the first main fight. So now you'll have access to that fighting information to help you guys get your bets in. Nothing's worse than wanting to bet on that third fight in the prelim card, and it shuts down before the first fight in the prelim card. You can't do anything about it. So we want to help you guys make sure that you can maximize tomorrow's PFL card. It'll be a fun, special Friday. And then no UFC Saturday show because there's no UFC. However, we have some golf underway at RBC Heritage. And the best part about the way that Jeff and I are doing this golf programming here is it does not matter if you missed the start of the golf round, right? Now, to some degree, yeah, if they're in the second round, you can't catch the first round leader. I think you guys know that. I think that makes sense. But the thing is the top 5, top 10, top 20 plays. Jeff's got a top 10 at plus 900 that's out there. You can still get in on those. There's still opportunity as the tournament evolves. So if you missed it early, you have the chance to go back and catch it even after the first round is over. Moreover, we've got the rugby action there from our boys down under, Dan and Smythe. 4-0 in their last 2 weeks of plays. 2 plays out there. One of them pops off tonight at, I guess tomorrow, technically, 2 a.m. Eastern time, April 18th. Big play out there from Smythe. He's got his ladder challenge. He's on his 4th leg of the rollover and the ladder challenge. So check that play out as well. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on those videos for us. It does help a tremendous amount. We were laughing because we were clipping some shorts last night. And, the supports, the videos that are getting put out there helping us achieve, we had almost 10,000 views on a couple of shorts that we put together, which is pretty remarkable if you think about it. I know some of you guys aren't in the content base here, but we're trying to build this thing. We want to grow and attracting sponsors, attracting new cappers, getting, merchandise giveaways involved all comes from how many views do you get? How many subscribers do you have? And we're on our way. So thank you guys all for being a part of what we're doing here. The journey continues. And our newest show will pop off tomorrow. Our newest show will pop off tomorrow at, I want to say 1 o'clock. I want to say 1 o'clock tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, but you'll be able to go back and catch it live. Not to worry, or catch it on a recording if you miss it. So lots happening. Lots happening out there, and it's because of you guys coming in here on a regular basis. Speaking of a lot happening, Justin Thomas went out there and tied the course record. I did mention in that video the other day, this is a links course at RBC Heritage, which means it's wide. I don't know if some of you guys are golfers or not, but I love playing links courses because I could fucking bash the ball. And my 3-wood went further than most people's drivers. So I just had a special 3-wood all tinkered up and ready to go. And it was a fucking club. I mean, it was just a club. And getting into a second shot on a nice long par 5 on a links course, I'd roll that thing up onto the fucking green and smoke everybody. I'm putting for eagle, and they're trying to chip on for eagle. I mean, that's the difference that was made. The point is, in a links course, wind can be a factor, and that's kind of why they do it that way. They kind of open things up, but they make it a little windy and so on and so forth. But the wind is down. I mentioned this. The wind is supposed to be sub 10 miles per hour. And I expect we're going to see this scorecard gets lit the F up. Justin Thomas is 10 under. Russell Henley and Scotty Scheffler are both 7 under, respectively. Then Wyndham Clark. And my first guy on the board was Justin Rose. He finished 4 under with a 67. So lots to come out, lots to happen. Make sure you guys check out that golf content because there are plenty of opportunities now to get great pricing and even consider some of the players that we laid out there if you're looking at matchup play as well. So, of course, we know today's the last day in the NHL, and that means it's the last day to take advantage of the milestone goal report. I'm going to give you guys this little sneak peek here. Well, this isn't a sneak peek. You can find this over on the Sports Money YouTube post. Over at the post. That is the name I am calling it. I'm not sure if it's grammatically accurate, but it just kind of sounds cool. Check it out at the post, as opposed to go to the post app. Come on. Chasing 30 goals. You'll see everybody's pretty much in play except for the guys that have been dashed off in red. Their seasons are kaput. But the Kings have a game tonight with LeFerrier in play. I forgot to cross off Anaheim. That's my fault. I was doing this last minute. But plenty of guys chasing 30, all in play tonight. Sebastian Aho, plus 195. His price tag has come down from the other day. Brian Rust for the Pittsburgh Penguins. His price tag has gone up. Dylan Larkin's price tag for the Detroit Red Wings has gone up from the other day. There's Brady Tkachuk. His number came down considerably. He didn't play the other day. He's chasing 30. And he's got a wide opportunity tonight to get that job done. Matthew Nice, excuse me. And Anders Lee for the New York Islanders. And then of course Dylan Strome for the Washington Capitals, all in play tonight. And you can see those prices. Those are updated as about 30 minutes ago. Rolling on down the chasing 20. Monahan's out there in play for Columbus Blue Jackets. Ryan McLeod, $390, one of the biggest tags on the card today. There's Svechnikov. Now, I didn't like Svechnikov the other day. A couple of you guys asked me about him. I wasn't a Svechnikov guy, and it made sense. He didn't get it. Well, it made sense because the way that I figured game time would go down. Zetterlund for the Ottawa Senators is the second biggest price tag on the card tonight, and then, as I mentioned, Alex Laferriere, the last guy in play. So tonight's it. They do or they die tonight. And I got the 4-pack. I put this parlay together with these players for tonight's action. Looked at the goaltending matchups, the opportunity for these guys, the recent success they've had. I did some excess scrubbing to try to come up with I know it sounds big. It is big. It's a 122 to 1. Of course it's big. But I do think we have a cup of coffee money, piece of pizza money, lunch money, not mortgage payment. Although I will reserve the right to say, why didn't we put the mortgage on this thing if it does cash? I'm just kidding. No mortgage payments. No mortgage payments. It's a 4-leg parlay, and it's all based on goal scoring. So, let's have some fun with it. It's the last night of the NHL. Playoffs will start Saturday. And frankly, there's really nothing left to be gained in the NHL tonight, with the exception of where these Philadelphia Flyers will pick up in the draft. I've said on record they're too stupid to lose or to know they should lose. And I've said this for several years because when they should be losing, they do not lose. We'll see if that reigns true tonight because they should be losing tonight. The situation for the Philadelphia Flyers against the Buffalo Sabres, a regulation loss against Buffalo gives them the 4th best chance in the draft lottery. A game going to overtime. That means they're too stupid to just quit. They'll go down from 4th to 6th. And if they happen to win in regulation because they're too stupid to roll over, that will get the 7th most likely outcome. Why is that important? Because one of the best centers in the draft, the best center in the draft, is slated to go around that 4-5 mark. So for Michkov and rebuilding this Philadelphia Flyers team, we will see what happens. That's a part that's near and dear to my heart. Then we look across the board in the NHL, and we've talked about this guy. We beat up on him. Georgiev, the San Jose Sharks, Alexander Georgiev, was informed today. Now, he spent half his season with Colorado, the other half with San Jose, and he was informed at 15, 25, and 4 with an 87.5% save percentage. You're not coming back, brah. You're done. Outright release. They will not have him back next year. And, one more thing along the realm of the NHL. How about this? The Montreal Canadiens, single biggest day in the franchise history for jersey sales was the other day when Demidov started that game and put up 2 points in the first 5 shifts, a goal and an assist. Number 93 set a Montreal Canadiens record, sold over $250,000 in jerseys. I thought that was kind of cool. And other cool things that I kind of came across here as I was looking at the schedule today, since we don't have a ton going on. First time in NHL history, first time ever, the Canadiens and the Leafs are the lone original 6 teams to make the postseason. I thought that was kind of cool. No Detroits, no Bostons. I thought that was cool. Also, how about this? Never say never. December 1st, the Canadiens were dead last in the NHL. After they won last night, they have gotten themselves into the playoffs. Kind of thought that was impressive. Kind of thought that was a neat little factor. Dead last, punch their ticket to the NHL, and away they go. So, that brings us current. That brings us, I think we're all caught up to date on what's going on around the league and what's going on in the world of sports. There are going to be a couple of 6:30 games, I guess, here in baseball. We're not going to rush to the window on those. I mean, at first thought, I like Baltimore. The line steamed a shitload to Baltimore. 635 start, opened at minus 104. It's moved to minus 125. With 57% of the bets and 60% of the cash. Kansas City and Detroit. Movement towards Detroit. Not a ton of movement, but some. 6 cents. 77% of the bets, 86% of the cash on the, 80% of the cash on the Tigers. And for some of you guys that are new stepping in here, we talk about the percentage of bets and percentage of cash. We're not going to debate whether or not this data is helpful anymore. That's old school thinking. The curmudgeons that say, I don't know where this data comes from. I'm not going to talk about it. All right, well then go sit over there in the fucking corner and let everybody else win while you're losing. That being said, we look at the percentage of bets. We think of those as generally, those are all the tickets that are being written. The public, right? The $5 parlays, the $2, small bet play, everything, all the soup, everything that goes into being written for those games is percentage of bets. Typically, we associate that. That's the public, the general public. The percentage of money, sometimes indicative of bigger bettors, solo bettors, meaning they're not betting parlays or teasers. They're just betting one game. They're whacking it good. And generally, if they're kind of focusing in like that, we look at that as the sharper bettors. So we try to use a picture. We've got the public, we've got the sharps, and then what we want to see is what are the books saying? Are they making it more attractive to bet this spot or not? Example, 78% of the bets and 69% of the cash on this Royals and Tigers game are on the over. 78% of the bets, public's betting them, big money's coming in on that over. And what they said is, we see you at 8, it opened at 8. Now it's 7.5, meaning the books just reached their arms out and gave you a big juicy hug about those 8s and said, how about a 7.5? Now you like it even more? That's called reverse line movement. And that's how this whole program works out. You can argue these different sources. There's certainly room for that conversation, but I want the first number that hits the street. A lot of people will differ, and this is why I think we've had the most success across the spectrum here with this thing. And I'll say this proudly because we were innovators when this thing first came out. We want the first number that hits the street. I don't care if there's limits on it or not. The very first number, because there are some books that will early overnight, they'll pop numbers out there. And then what happens is the rest of the books are looking to see how the action's coming in from their big bettors. And then they will adjust the lines. So I don't want a copy of a copy. I want the original, right? A copy of a copy always gets smudged and foggy and just not as sharp. And that's why we are sharp bettors when it comes to leveraging these tools. Hint, hint, ergo, I do like that under in that Tigers and Royals game. But we're going to talk about the NHL. We're going to pop off with Washington and Pittsburgh, Philly and Buffalo, the Islanders and Columbus. And I might as well hit you guys with that big parlay here in just a second. We'll move over to Major League Baseball. We'll get the Yankees and Tampa Bay series. Then we're going to move into that St. Louis and Mets game, the New York combo. And there's only one more game at 8 o'clock. That 8 p.m. game is the Angels and the Rangers. Sometimes I can't get a fix on the series. And so then I just have to let it go. Just let it go. It was meant to be. It'll find its way to my lap in a live bet. And so I don't have any action in that game. I wanted the over, but 66% of the bets and 71% of the cash are on the over. It's gone from 10 to 9.5. Now you may hear somebody say, well, it opened at 9.5. That's not true. It opened at 10. Very first number to hit the street was 10. It's come down to 9.5. So if you got a book, I guess all you could argue doesn't matter. If you got a book that opened at 9.5 and it's still 9.5 and you see all that money on the over, still a red flag. It's still not moving. So there we go. That be that. The NBA popped off again last night for the play-in games. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with this play-in series. The Miami Heat bust up the Chicago Bulls. I was not okay with that, but the under smashed and cashed. The Mavericks and the Kings was the one that surprised me the most. I thought the Kings at home would bust up Mavericks in the mouth, and you got a 16 and 25 team on the road. And Anthony Davis almost puts himself up a triple-double. Okay. What's cool, though, is we will have the final setup for the play-in tournaments. This is going to be for seeding. Loser will get the last seed in the playoffs. The Miami Heat and the Hawks will play on 7 p.m. And then 9:30, the Grizzlies and the Mavericks. So we'll have NBA coverage as part of our PFL ensemble and Major League Baseball tomorrow. So it's all shaping up. It's all shaping up. Speaking of shaping up, you guys need to shape up. I need you guys to smash comments on these videos when we're done. I don't care if it's just a thumbs up. I don't care if it's a 1. I don't care if it's a 2. I don't care if it's an 8. I don't care if it's F you as long as you don't spell it out, right? Listen, this community's large enough now that we can have a YouTube revolution right here. We are the front line. We are the tip of the spear of growing this thing. And if we all get together and let our voices be heard loud and proud, we can take this goddamn YouTube thing over by storm and become the front runners. I know they're looking at us. I know they're watching what we're doing here because we have work ethic. We're dedicated. We're committed. We're consistent. We're not one of those guys that pops off a show this day at this time and the next day at another time. And we want to help you guys be here to see what we have to offer. And listen, we love the donations. We love the membership. Speaking of members, we have 3 plays that I gave out there today. The first one was a nice plus 165 casher, Pittsburgh in the under. Easy money, 1-0 winner. We lost the second game. We had the Reds. The Reds the Reds tied it up in the 8th inning and then gave it away. Lost that game big time, 11-7 because of the extras. And the third game that we have on deck right now was a plus 105, I think it was. It was plus 125, I believe. Anyways, it's the Philadelphia Phillies minus 1.5. So we're trying to go 2-1 for some nice plus money today on the card. It is 6-4, top of the 9th, 1 out. So I got one eye over there. I was going to do my one eye open routine again, but nonetheless, anyhow, I digress. Now's the time of the show, you guys. Smash that thumbs up button if you haven't done so already. It's good business, and we're going to knock these plays out and shut this show down. Lickety split. We'll go through these 6 plays that I have for you guys, and we'll get up out of here and start our Thursday nights. Again, special shout out to those that did click or comment yesterday in the videos. Trisha M, Robert McCormick, Peter Gracia, my man Parma Jake, Brent Matthews, David Wallace, William Cox, Michael P. Algus, the winner of our March Madness tournament, Redbeard, Big Scott, KV, you guys are real ones. And I hope everybody else follows suit. That's going to help us a tremendous amount. Let's get to work. Let's talk about these best bets. Get your pen and paper ready. We're going to run down the chat, see who's got their best bets out there for us to hammer away on, and then we will share the plays that I have for you guys, and we will get her done. Joe T. Best bets in progress. Joe T had I believe it was the over, if I'm not mistaken, for Jover. Because I remember Ramon said under. And I was doing something this morning, and Ramon said under, and I was like, wait a minute, Jover's on an under? And then Ramon realized, he's like, wait a minute, no, it's Jover. Jover's on the over. So I remember Jover was on the over. That's funny. Gerald Jones says, A's run line catch last night, now 37-21 with his best bets. He's got the I was going to say the Blues. He's got the Cards and the Mets, and he's going over 7.5 for my guy, Gerald Jones. Running hot. Look at this dude, 16 over 500. You guys were definitely dialed in with that A spot last night. I told you the sharp bettors were on the White Sox. I gave you some trends. They are our friends until they're not. And they were not our friends after that. And you know what's funny? The sharp bettors were on the White Sox again today. It got me thinking. I bet you we see the Sharps bet the White Sox a lot. It's a shit team that's not going to be shit forever. And they're going to be catching plus 150s and 160s. So even if they win 50 games and they go 50 and 112, still going to be profitable, I think. I don't know. I'm not going to track it. We don't need to track it. There's programs out there that'll do that for us. But anyhow, I digress. St. Louis and Mets over 7.5. Congrats to Gerald Jones for his big winner last night with the Oakland A's run line. Joe Dubs here, Redbeard. Saw Redbeard banging around today, playing some ponies. He's on some action here. He's got the Orioles, Tigers, Cards, Rangers 4-teamer for plus 970. Baltimore, Detroit, St. Louis, and Texas 4-teamer for our guy, Redbeard. J. Main, Justin McKelvey, Stacks. So sports money is money. There's our guy, our newest gold member, Ignatius Pennyfeather. The 7th is up in here. Mitch Morver. Ignatius Pennyfeather likes the intro. Thanks, dude. Thanks. Laker Boy says, why the Yankees line so low? It's because of Warren. We'll talk about it. Kevin Wood. Peter Gracia is here. Ken Wood says, yeah, man. Tough. You know what happened? I'll tell you what happened in that game. T Scumbag was supposed to start, and instead they started Brian Wu. And they didn't put T Scumbag in until, the 6th inning? So it was a full-out head fake. It was a full-out head fake in that Reds game. You know? You know what I'm saying? Picking up what I'm putting down. I don't care about starting pitcher versus listed pitcher. You know, I'm always on started pitcher. I really don't care. They're only going to play 5 innings. It's not like they're going to play the full game most of the time. Now, if they go out there and mow everybody down, sure, then you're fucked. But Herbie Hancock, Brian Wu. Why did I see Brian Wu in there? Now I don't see it. I don't know. Fuck that game. How about that, Redbeard? Or Kenwood, I'm sorry. I was thinking Reds. Fuck those Reds. We'll make this money back. We'll get it back. Jay Main says, I seen something saying Mets 10-0 after a loss if Canning starts. That is accurate. Ignatius says, you work so hard for us. It's nothing like, oh, thanks, dude. Appreciate you. Appreciate Peter Gracias' greatest show on earth. Expert. Oh, man, you guys make me humble. Make me humble, man. I like it. Ignatius Penfield says, Friday is going to be lit, dude. We don't normally get a big Friday show. And I know a lot of you guys have asked it for a Friday show from time to time. And we've kind of, we're consistent every Saturday. You can count on us on Saturday with that UFC like clockwork. And we hope it helps for you guys when it comes to scheduling, right? Anyhow, I digress. Let's go. Gerald Jones says, bookies live odds move very slow in golf betting. Absolutely, they do. Ignatius Pennyfeather likes a Brady goal tonight. Here we go. Gerald Jones, first round NHL NBA series part. Kings and Clippers. An LA spot. There's Sancho in the house. Damon Waring's here. Irish King. Let's go, you guys. Jerry Davis is on the Detroit under 8. I like that. Trevor Davis. What's up, Trevor Davis? Where are you, my friend? Welcome into the party. Trying to make this cash. Irish King's got some, he says, killer afternoon. He banged it out this afternoon. Gerald Jones says, preach, man. Thanks, dude. I don't want to get too preachy. I just feel like, man, we are loud enough, or we are big enough that we should be loud enough, is I guess what I'm trying to say. These other shows are ridiculous, man. These guys are giving out plays they don't even bet. You know why it chaps my ass when a 4-leg parlay doesn't hit because of the last leg? Because I bet it with my real money. Damn right. Point says, how about this fun fact, Mikey? Boston, Detroit Rangers missing the playoffs for the first time in NHL history that Wow. See, I like those stats, man. Laker boy likes the Mavs plus 200 money line. Said money line was great. Irish King says, damn. Fitz home run, San Fran. Cutting it close, 6-4. Yeah. Ricky Levine says, what's cracking? Tampa Bay Lightning money line. Senators under 5.5. Sancho says, thanks, dude. Hey, man, I'm proud of what we're doing here. I enjoy what I'm doing. I enjoy spending time with you guys. I told you. I told you, man. I get excited coming in here to work with you guys every day on this stuff, and want to work hard to give you guys the winner. So let's go. They are rolling. Let's go. Cash G-Men team total over 3.5. It was plus 114. They now 10-1 to score 4 runs. They're gonna start adjusting the game accordingly. Terry P says, "What's big bite?" Probably for you. Guardians first 5 plus a half, and Baltimore full game. Trisha M's here. Thanks, Trisha M. She likes the meaningless games with the milestone report. Meaningless milestones. Milestone meaningless? Well, you guys are fired up here. I'd love to see this now. Let's go. Coins got some action here. Detroit under 8.5. Like it. Mets under 7.5. Going to get against our guy. And the Yankees on the money line. Joe Dub. Texas Rangers for Damon Waring. Did we get officially across the line with that game? All right. We'll take it 2-1. 2-1, but we're up over a unit because we play plus money bangers out there. It's funny. I was talking to someone earlier today about that Pirates game specifically. He was giving me the Pirates minus 1.5. I said, you really believe the Pirates are going to win by 2? How about you take the under and the Pirates? And you turn yourself into almost a plus 200 spot. So, okay. Let's go. Kelly V. Penns Rust. Anytime goal. Cleveland minus 105. Cleveland minus 1.5. Plus 155. Washington terrible goalie in net. Redbeard bets against the Mets as much as he can. I generally have that philosophy as well. Keith's up in the house. What's up, Keith? He likes Ventos over 1.5 total base. I told you, man, I'd rather sit here and talk about your guys' plays, whether I like them or not. But David Wallace has just got off work. What's up, David Wallace? Thank you guys again for taking the time yesterday to comment. JPZ up in this beast. Let's go, my guy. Says, what up? Motherfuckers, I need a winner. Okay, let's see if we have some winners. Let me type this out. Let me put this. I'm going to put this in the chat because I got the banner scrolling and I don't want to change the banner. That's how much it means to me that you guys took the time you took the time to comment on the video. That's what I was trying to say. Again, I think this is a revolution. I heard, back in the day, my man Cameron Sinet used to say pimp slap army. Man, we're the sports money nation. We're rolling, baby. And you guys should feel proud about that too. I mean, it's not just the guys on screen that come in here. It's everybody contributing, trying to find a way to get us paid. And you see guys like Gerald Jones, our guy like, Mr. Sunburn himself, Joe T with the run that he's been on. I mean, all you guys have had some good looking runs out there. So let's go. Here's the parlay I got for you guys. I went Monahan, McLeod, Rust, and Nice. And simply put, I was trying to capitalize on the, spot situations, particularly goaltenders. So we'll go a little out of order here because I already put this in, and you should put at least put $1 on it. I mean, I don't care if it's your bankroll, it's your choice. But we'll start off with Monahan, right? Monahan. Playing for the Blue Jackets, a plus 195 spot out there. The thing about the Blue Jackets is they are finding themselves as a home team to be a tremendous over squad. Not only are they a tremendous over squad, but when you look at the goaltending battles, and this is going to be kind of the core theme for all of these guys tonight, it was trying to pick on the goaltending spots where I thought they were sus. So, Columbus, where are they? Where are you, Columbus? There they are. Jet Greaves for Columbus. Huh? 6-2-2, though, with a 93% save percentage. Now, they just were officially eliminated. This kid's coming in red hot. So I don't want to take any Islanders goal props because this kid's, as shitty as he is, red hot. And the Islanders, look, they've lost 4 of their last 5, so they're suspect. They're vulnerable right now to having goals scored on them. And who they going to in goal? Marcus Hogberg. He's 2-5-3 with a 3.14 goals against average and an 88.7% save percentage. I think because the cork was finally popped on the top of the Columbus Blue Jackets season last night, they roll into this game and they think, all right, Monty, let's get you that spot. Let's get out of this fucking season. Let's go do some golfing. Let's go on vacation. Let's get the wives and the kids together and do all that off-season stuff. And they want to send Monahan off feeling good about a wasted season in Columbus to go get that goal. So I started with Monahan. I then moved over to McLeod. Now I'm going to tell you, this is going to be a sneak peek. I'm on the Buffalo game over. We'll talk about why here in a few minutes. Buffalo, Philadelphia, we already talked about their stupidity factor. The one thing they are doing here, they have a 2-game losing streak, and they're going to Kolosov. They were supposed to go to that big, tall Russian monster, and instead they're going to Kolosov. He allowed 5 goals on 29 shots the last time he played. They did win. It was an 8-5 win against the Rangers, but the Rangers were slumping. So for all intent and purpose, this kid stinks. And on the other side of things, it's the Buffalo Sabres who have been scoring goals. Now, why am I not? Well, there's nobody in the Flyers position. Mishkov, I guess, is trying to get him as many points as you can here. But Reimer's been playing well. From a Buffalo Sabres perspective, we know they went on a bit of a positive tear at the end of the season there. However, Reimer did allow 7 goals on 31 shots his last game. That was against Tampa Bay. We were on the under. I was on the under in that game. I remember the losses more than I remember the wins. I don't know if that works like that for you guys. I can barely remember some of these wins. I probably couldn't tell you who we won yesterday, but I could tell you who we lost yesterday, which is fucked up, I guess. That makes me sick in the head. But anyways, McLeod, this kid I mentioned, he got drafted. He played his OHL career he's played all over the place. He gets over to Edmonton Oilers. He's from Mississauga. Mississauga is pretty much halfway between Toronto and Buffalo. So this kid's kind of from a hockey capital. He's been playing OHL junior hockey. He's gone through the pedigree of getting developed and raised in the hockey lifestyle. And it's the last game of the season for this kid who's pretty much in his backyard. He's playing hockey in his own backyard, and he's had an opportunity to get to 20 goals against Kolosov, who is shitting the bed as of late. That's guy number 2. Guy number 3 is Brian Rust. Why not Brian Rust in Pittsburgh? You got to look at this game despite Pittsburgh having their season be washed. I think you get a leader like Sidney Crosby, and he knows what it means for these guys to get these milestone goals. He's been around forever and a day and a half. So the goal should be to feed him the puck. Who's he going to feed him the puck against? Cat Stevens. I'm just kidding. Clay Stevenson. He's going to make his NHL debut for the Washington Capitals. Capitals are done. They're moving on to the playoffs. They can give a fuck. And this kid was undrafted. 3 seasons he played for the Hershey Bears. He sports a 3 goals against average in the AHL. You're going to have an opportunity. Now, he does have an 18-8-4 record in the AHL, but he's letting 3 goals a game. So get used to the speed and the adjustment. I think they want to feed Brian Rust the puck to get that thing done. And then last but not least, I'm going to Nyes in Toronto. And I guess I could have gone to the other side. I could have gone to the other side and said Larkin. But here's the thing I got. Mrazek is the issue. He's 3.34 goals against average out there. These guys can't win when this guy's a starting goaltender. And so if they're not going to win, as rudimentary as this sounds, if they're not going to win, the other team's going to score on them, right? Common sense. The Red Wings have lost 9 straight road games with Peter Mrazek in goal. Detroit's been outscored 4.2 to 1.8 goals per game in that spot. Opponents have scored 4 or more goals in 6 straight Mrazek starts out there. And when they're losing by 2 or more. So the empty netter is very much in play as well. Why not use that to Jimmy hat this guy into his 20-plus goals out there and make it happen? By the way, the third period, over 8-1 in Mrazek starts because they're losing and they pull the goalie. That's what I got for you. Now, all of a sudden, it doesn't sound so crazy that it's 122-1, does it? I didn't think so. I thought it made a lot of sense. So, that's the way we're going to fire off and open up tonight's card. I think that makes a lot of sense for us to get paid. I'll leave that on the screen. We'll move to game number. Oh, it's getting busy now. I feel like Anchorman 2. We need more graphics. And yeah, look at how busy this thing is. But I'm not taking down the scrolling bar because you guys taking the time to comment on our content means the world to me. And it helps us grow. We got a lot of you guys watching tonight. I do appreciate that. It's a small schedule, so I hope you don't mind me talking a little bit here and sharing some of these thoughts that I have. But we're going to go back to this Capitals and Penguins game, and I just talked about Cat Stevens on the Capital side of things. They are going to Nedeljkovic on the 3rd straight season without a playoff game here. So I just think Sidney Crosby effect when it comes to this game. You know, Sidney Crosby effect meaning, like, I don't think he lets this team quit. How about this? Divisional home favorites that have a 20% worse record than their opponent find a way to win. They're a favorite for a reason. They win at 134-76. It's about a 2-1 clip. Just under 60%. Right around 60%, right? Not quite, I guess. In that vicinity. How about that? Give me that. It's in that vicinity of 55-60%, but there is the advantage. The divisional home favorite is a favorite for a reason. I locked in the Pittsburgh Penguins. It's a tough day, man. It's a tough day to find spots to play on this card. Minus 110 seems fair to me. Washington's toast, and they're playing Cat Stevens. All I said earlier very much rings true. I thought about going a different direction and parlaying like Rust with the Penguins, but I figured, you know what? Let me take a small play on that parlay, and let me fire full units on these games here because I know it's meaningless, and everyone's told everybody already that it's all meaningless, but I'm still going to fucking bet. I still got bills to pay. I can't be just sitting on my fucking hands. What? Take today off? $300 just so we talk about this again, $300 a day, every day of the year. Pick yourself up over 100K a year. Now, some days you'll win 11-0 like we did last week. You're going to win a whole bunch more, but nonetheless, just some things to keep in mind. All right, what do we got for game number 2? Game number two. Pittsburgh Buffalo. I already talked about this one to some extent. We already talked about the situation and the seeding, so we got halfway through the cap as we were filibustering to start this show off here. Look, why I like this, and one of the biggest components that I missed on this thing here, over the last 10 games, I mean, we've seen Buffalo's been winning and Philly's been losing. clearly, respectfully. The Tortorella factor goes, and Mishkov's getting more ice time. You got both teams young. And I talked about this the other day with the Anaheim Ducks. The difference between the Anaheim Ducks and the Nashville Predators. You got a young team. They're having fun. They're getting ready to go golfing. They got nice vacation. They got money in their pockets for the first time in their lives. They're getting ready to go have great vacations. They're bringing their childhood friends with them. They're probably going to some bullshit all-inclusive bars in Mexico where they're all going to get fucking bad tap water and be sick for a couple of days, but they're going to be rocking cocktails and playing golf. So they're having fun right now. They're excited. And not only that, these two teams are some of the highest scoring teams over the 10-game stretch. The Sabres are 5th highest in scoring in the NHL, and the Flyers are 6th. 37th and 36 goals apiece between those two. You got over 70 goals in the NHL. Why not see goals in this game tonight? And I think the Flyers are too stupid. So every time the Sabres score, the Flyers are going to try to rally back and make it happen. Young team, motivated out there, brand new golf clubs, money in their pockets, scoring a bunch of goals. No one's stepping in front of these pucks. You're not going on your golf trip with a busted kneecap because you stopped a blistering slap shot from Tage Thompson. Not going to happen. And the Flyers, insult to injury, they allowed 41 goals in their last 10 games. So you got the 5th and 6th highest scoring teams. You got one of the worst defensive squads in the Flyers right now. Flyers have been plagued with defensive issues all the way back to Chris Pronger. Guy gets a concussion. They still got to pick up his contract, and they won't drop him and take dead cap space. And they just haven't been right ever since. So bad goaltending, high-scoring offenses, and bad defense all led me to the over in this game. I got an over 6.5. I got it at minus 104. I think it's fair price to pay for that tag out there. Next game on the docket. I'm moving on to Brisk Pace, yes. Peter Grassi says lots of, yeah. And it makes sense, too, because the season's over, and then away you go. So it's a lot of fun. Definitely. Baseball players, too, by the way. I got a couple baseball players that I don't like playing with. I'll play with them in tournaments. But I don't like playing head-to-head because they fucking smash the ball. It's that hip rotation. It's the same thing as like a slap shot, right? The hip rotation. Sounds like Gutter Dong from Jerry Davis out there. I just saw the buzz that Baltimore went up 1-0. Shout out to our guy, Razor Sharp Picks. He's on a streak. He gave us a gambler's first glance today. Third game on the docket I'm going to give you guys here. We're going to look at this Columbus game, the aforementioned Columbus Blue Jackets. They're playing the New York Islanders. Trying to be different, right? I mean, you guys probably listen to some other shows, and everyone's telling you about how these games are all meaningless. We're going to wait till the playoffs, and trying to come up with something different for you guys. And I'm actually betting these plays, so I might as well share them with you guys. I don't do this a lot. I'm not that kind of guy. I don't know if you guys ever saw the... Anyways, I digress. I won't digress. Let me stay on point. Stat task. Okay. Hogberg and Greaves. Kind of falls under the cap that I talked about with Monahan scoring a goal, right? Not a lot to play for. The Islanders, these are just two bad goaltenders. Best way I thought to attack this is when the Blue Jackets are home favorites, their first period is 9-1 to the over. 9-1. First periods are averaging 2.7 goals a game. Columbus has gotten 2 or more in the first period in 5 of those games. They're also an over team. Third period over is 9-1. Now, I take that with a grain of salt, and the reason I broke it down to the first period instead of the full game, because they might say, let's go out there, let's start this one really quick, let's give it one last big effort in the first period, and then people are people. At some point, human behavior takes over, and by the second and third period, you're drifting onto your golf trip. The first period over is 13-1 when the Blue Jackets are home, off a game that went under and a total more than 5.5. That's the way we're going to wrap up the regular NHL season here. We're going to take the first period over 1.5. And I like both teams to score too. Why the hell not? But I don't want to get too cute. I got a minus 130 spot for the over first period, 1.5. I've been part of these locker room conversations. Men, you had a great season. We didn't quite get there. Let's go put it all on the line to finish this game off. Let's show them what we can do to start this game and get ourselves ready for vacation. Let's leave it all on the ice. And you leave it all on the ice until you get fucking blasted in the back of your shin with a slap shot. And then your kneecap hurts. And you're going, man, our season's over. I'm golfing next week. Why did I do that? So first period over, rest of the game slows down. I'll take that for the New York Islanders. I'll go on We'll keep her running. We'll go into baseball here. We do talk about the splits in Major League Baseball, so that's a little bit of a different factor. Not so much in hockey because, frankly, I don't care. I think we've picked up over 100 units in 2 seasons in the NHL, and it's not by fucking osmosis. So that being said, the Yankees and the Rays will pop off here with a line that opened at minus 116 for Tampa. It has dropped to minus 108. Slight uptick on the Yankee side as well. 70% of the bets and 69% of the cash on the what happened? 70% and 69% on the Yankees. Total opened at 9, still at 9. 82% of the bets and 83% of the cash. Talked about it the other day. You'll probably hear it from a lot of people throughout the season. Tampa Bay's rehabbing that puke stadium that they have out there. Now, the big difference is 2 things. One, the Yankees' spring training grounds are the stadium they're playing at, Steinbrenner Field down there in Tampa. It's also an outdoor stadium, not a dome stadium. So, weather will become a factor this year more than it has in the past for this Tampa series or Tampa Rays in general. But you have both teams familiar. You have 80 degrees and 8 miles an hour wind. It's like perfect hitting conditions tonight. And I'm not going to get involved with this Yankees tax. I kind of like the Rays to win this game, personally. But we have Taj Bradley. He's got a 3.71 ERA. This is the most meaningless stat in baseball, is the win-loss record. Pitchers 2-0, though. He's picked up some wins. That's why you don't see it on the screen. I could care less what their record is. I borderline care less who they're playing with in the first place. But in this case, Warren has that 5.14. And by the way, the Yankees bullpen, they're like sub 2 right now, ERA. So the Yankees bullpen is actually firing. Tampa, on the other hand, I'm just not in love with as much. I love the hitters. I love getting involved with these hitters on Tampa. They got a really nice offensive lineup set up out there on the field. And the spot that I looked at for this game was a little bit different. I'm going to take a little plus money price tag on this one. I like Tampa to win the first 5. Why? Because I want to focus in on beating up on Will Warren. He's 8-0 to the over in his 8 career starts. In his 8 starts, they're averaging 11.26 runs a game. And the opponents have scored 4 or more runs in 7 of those games. This season, if you thought that was an anomaly, the over's already 3-0 for this dude's career. The first 5 over is 3-0 as well. So everything talks to me about this being an over with hitting conditions in a familiar grounds. The way that I wanted to attack this one, though, is Tampa's starting out hot. I like Tampa in the first 5. I like Tampa, like I said, I like Tampa to win this whole game, but I look at the first 5 for Tampa. You're sitting at minus 125s to minus 130s. Scares me a little bit. It's a little pricey. Tampa over 2.5 runs in the first 5 innings is plus 110. That's got a lot better ring to it than anything else. So I took Tampa Bay's team total first 5 over 2.5 at plus 110. Tampa Bay Rays to get to Warren, get 3 runs. If you do it in the first inning for me, I'd appreciate it. I got some shit to do later tonight. So that's the way I'm approaching that game. Team total, first half, Tampa Bay, over 2.5, plus 110. Shift all that other nonsense off the table. Just focus on getting to Warren and get me 3 runs. And if you want to do it in the first inning, I'd be appreciative. What do you guys think about that in the chat? There we go. Jamie Haynes says it. There you go. Trisha M thinks the Yankees got RBI potential, but haven't picked who yet. Aaron Judge. By the way, tell me I'm wrong. Granted, these guys have fucked me on a couple of parlays, but Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, Kyle Schwarber, 3 best hitters in baseball. Don't forget Raleigh. Maybe put Raleigh on the Mount Rushmore as well. That dude's got more home runs this season to start off than Judge does out there in no man's land in Seattle. So we'll keep our eyes on those 4. I certainly can respect Gunnar Henderson. And that's about where the line starts to end, I think. There's a lot of other guys. Vientos, yeah, I saw somebody mention Vientos. He's definitely projected high on my dashboard today. Excuse me. And there's Jose Ramirez, but every time I get involved with Jose Ramirez, it ends up in me getting angry at Jose Ramirez. So that being said, Let's go to the last game I got for you guys here. We're going to look at this Mets and Cardinals game. This one will pop off at 7:10 as well. So we got about 20 minutes to go. And as we look at these two guys here, this line opened up at minus 142. We have 74% of the bets and 77% of the cash coming in on the Mets. This is where the line is oscillated. It opened at minus 142. It's down to minus 134. First glance, you say, well, they took 8 cents off it, made it more attractive to bet them. Conversely, on the St. Louis Cardinals side of things, they went from plus 120 to plus 126. So they made it more attractive to bet the Cardinals game as well. Now, if you're going to wait for the handicap number, you're not going to see any line movement. And you're going to think, oh, that's a red flag. It's oscillating line movement. Nobody else talks about oscillating line movement because they're debating where the opening line was. 7.5 is the total. It's moved up to 8 in some spots. It's not a true 8, though. The reason it's not a true 8 is because it's even money for the 8. So you still got a juicy 7.5. You got 81% of the bets and 78% of the cash coming in on the over. We have Canning. We have Palante. We have Canning with a 4.2 ERA. We have Palante with a 2.2 ERA. And this one comes down to, well, we'll see. We'll see if Keith and Redbeard's Mets end up on the old shit list here. Now, 3-1 are the Cardinals in their last 4 games. We had the Cardinals yesterday. They beat up on Houston. They did get shut out 1 game. They did shut out the Phillies 1 game, though. So in all fairness, this is kind of that Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde team that you're seeing with the St. Louis Cardinals. But look, it's baseball time. We love these first bet of the season spots out, or first bet of a series spots. We knew the Cardinals were one of the worst teams last year to be the game 1 of a series. How about one of the best? The Mets. Going back to August as a favorite, more than a minus 120. Game 1 of a series, the Mets are 11-0. Perfect 11-0. It's not just that they're 11-0. They're busting teams up by almost 3 runs a clip. So I like some Mets action in this game tonight. I got involved in some Mets. And I'm okay with we got some nice plus money price tags out there. Minus 130 didn't seem too egregious to me. I'll go up to I'll try not to give you guys minus 140s. You know that. Sometimes I'm like, we're just taking this because it's going to cash and we're just going to get our money. Sometimes we're that confident and it happens, right? If I'm not mistaken, didn't that happen last night? Let me double check. Let me fact check here. I'm pretty sure. No, I was going to say the Red Wings. That was my favorite spot on the card at minus 133, but it wouldn't have mattered anyways. They won 5-2, but sometimes we are going to swallow a little juice because we don't want to have to push. We just want to get our money where we can. That was not the case, though, last night, and that's not the case tonight here. So we've got a pretty nice card laid out. Despite it being a small card, without a lot of things to play for, and everyone's telling you hockey's over and they're going to wait. We're not going to wait. We're going to fire. We're going to be conservative to a degree. We're not going to open the card up and bet on every game. We're going to pick our spots. We're going to see if we can't turn this into a winning night. We already had a 2-1 with the enhanced members package out there. So if you guys haven't done so already, we are viewer supported. Get out there, upgrade to a silver or gold membership. We greatly appreciate that. And when we have games and spots that are happening when we are not live, then we will give you guys some of those plays that we are involved with. Again, 2-1 over a unit. Well, I think it was like a unit and a half today of profit. Almost, I think it's even more than that. For a 2-1 day, to be up over a unit and a half is pretty phenomenal for the early part of the day. That being said, you guys, check it out. Tomorrow, should have a new show popping off there tomorrow around 1 p.m. Stay tuned for the details. And again, tomorrow night, Friday night, get yourselves ready and get set. It's going to be go time on these bookies with the Professional Fighting League. If you're new to our MMA coverage, nobody does it better. The boys are already talking. I've seen a bunch of plays already. I got some plays I'm going to make in there as well. It's going to be a ton of fun. Do me this solid. If you guys get out of the show, smash the thumbs up button if you haven't, and then go in there and make a comment. Let's get this thing growing, man. Let's go. We got a bunch of comments yesterday. Let's see if we can double them today, guys. It takes a minute for the show to upload, and then you can go in there and post a comment. If you want to bet, if you lost a bet, if you like what I had to say, if you hate what I had to say, just don't curse. Just don't curse. But, you can curse in the chat. I don't care. But just don't curse on the YouTube stuff because we want this to help bolster this algorithm. And let's go. Sports Money Nation. Unite. Let's get this thing going. Good luck with all your bets tonight. Thank you guys for watching this show. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow for the big Friday night live stream. You'll catch my man Ramon Scott at 9 a.m. for the morning steam. Get your coffee, get that steam report, and get this money. Good luck to everybody tonight. Have a fun Thursday.